Brian, it seemed like first quarter there was some decent defensive energy, and then that kind of just slipped away. What made it so hard to sustain?
Yeah, we were doing a better job contesting shots in the first quarter. I mean, they were 1 for 7 from 3 at that point. They end up shooting 46% basically. That hurts you. And then they shot a very high percentage in the mid-range. Thought our pursuit could have been better on pick and rolls. Thought our we call stunt contests within the coverage could have been better on pick and rolls. And Donovan Mitchell is a talent, and he picked us apart a little bit.
Are you sensing any confusion from the guys and what their roles or responsibilities are supposed to be on the floor? It seems like they're talking to each other at some points and pointing in different directions, and maybe just not on the same page that way.
Yeah. I don't sense confusion on roles and responsibilities. To me, that looked like that was guys trying to hold each other accountable, which is something that we've been stressing to the group.
When you have Bell, Cat, and Rocco in the front line, even if they're not going exceptionally big, what are you trying to do there defensively? Is it for defense or is it for both?
A little bit of both. I mean, there's Kata, missing Kata, kind of adjusted that fourth the power forward position tonight, and obviously, I mean, Jake, that did the same thing when we lost him in our game at Utah. But with that, we were looking to have Jordan beat the 5 basically, guard the 4s, or guard the 3, because he can move a little bit, and then pull Gobert from the basket to create driving lanes and keep Cat either in the corner or the high quad. But I mean, we didn't have great success with it.
So to be able to swing the 3 and the 4 is really important in your scheme.
Yeah, it is.
You listed off a number of things defensively that aren't going well right now. What do you think is the most important of those that needs to get turned around the quickest?
I think the most important thing would be the physicality of our defense. That needs to improve. There's a number of things that need to improve right now. But I'm not. We've done it before. I mean, 2 weeks ago we were feeling better about our defense. So I know it can be done, and I know that locker room can do it.
At this point, do you have to kind of get past the frustration to try to drill down to what's going on? And is that a difficult task, do you think, at this point?
Yeah, there's, I've mentioned a number of times about the NBA season, so I'm sure people get sick of it. But in the NBA season, everybody has there's a number of different tough times, and this is one of them for us because we are a team that focuses on the daily task and wants to get better and wants to improve and understands that that's our goal. But then again, you also want to have that winning feeling too. Hey, it's you don't sleep well, food doesn't taste as good, you don't want to go out much, to get dinner. I mean, it's just how it is, and so that that is something that I think affects us guys at times, or any NBA team when they're going through a little bit of a slump.
During the slump, obviously, defense has been something that's been talked about and a reason as to why the slump exists. But do you think you guys are playing well enough offensively to win games right now? Or where do you feel you're at on that end?
I think we have offensive improvements as well that we need to make to be a winning, consistently winning basketball club. And part of that is staying within the system and playing committed basketball for 48 minutes and not going through spurts. Where the ball kind of sticks, and we get into one pass shots or no pass shots. That can be a struggle, like it is for any team.
Carl's historically had success defensively playing with Josh. I'm wondering what kind of, since the switch where Josh is out there more than Trevion, is that an adjustment for Carl specifically on the defensive end, maybe in the pick and roll, those two players, or are they similar, I guess?
They're similar. Yeah, I don't think that's an adjustment because the roles and responsibilities stay the same. you know, it's not going to be. It gets too complicated if you're saying in a lot of ways that, you know, with this guy you're going to do this, with this guy you're going to do this. If they're similar sizes, now there might be some situations like, you know, if Cat and you know, Jordan Bell are involved in a ball screen. You know, some teams run a 4-5 screen. In that situation, you may switch. But when it comes to comparing, you know, Cat with Josh and Cat with Trevion, you know, they're very similar.
What'd you think of Jeff's performance, particularly in the first half when he kind of seemed to keep you guys in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to, you know, I probably played him more than you know, I expected. But he was aggressive, and he was keeping us in the game in that second quarter, and I, you know, liked what I saw. And, you know, as you guys know, if, you know, somebody's going, you know, they're gonna, you know, get a nice opportunity.
You've spoken before about, you know, adding things both offensively and defensively as the season goes on. At a time like this, when, you know, the defense is struggling, do you have to pare back maybe some of the things that you've worked on and maybe simplify it to where you were?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You probably have to go back to basics with things, and but, you know, it's I'd say there's probably not one NBA team in the history of the NBA that, you know, puts everything that they're going to do in training camp, offensively or defensively, in, and then just stays with that for the whole season. So, you know, we knew that there were going to be things that we'd add. We knew there were going to be things that we didn't like, you know, both that we put in training camp and then things that we put in, you know, kind of in the meat of the season, you know, and I think we're, you know, like you said, that's a good point. We're probably at a point where, you know, you got to pare back a little bit, get back to basics, and, you know, get back to being solid.
Is that where the lack of practice time shows up, perhaps?
It does, but, you know, it's, you know, I don't want to use that as a reason, but thanks, guys.